Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan, and this is the KingCast, podcast on all things Bethesda. Welcome. It is great to be back. Today we've got a lot to talk about. Man, news just keeps happening. Right up until time for the KingCast, news just happened. Today we're, of course, going to talk about Fallout 76. As always, we're going to talk about the Fallout TV show. We got some news about that this week. We're going to talk about Ghostwire Tokyo. The reviews are in for it. We're going to talk about E3, some news about E3 this year and in the future. I think you'll be interested in that. Some really cool Starfield news and a new Starfield leak. So stick around. We're going to talk about all of that and, of course, more, and your questions and comments as always, because this is a subscriber-driven podcast as always. Again, I say welcome. Hey, Kane, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you here. Let's jump right into Fallout 76. Again, I've got so much to talk about. We're going to talk about 011, the announcement that they are taking over some of the development duties. We'll talk about that in just a second. But let's talk about what's going on right now in Fallout 76. We've got Caps of Plenty going on. The Fallout Scorched are here. I mean, the Fallout Scorched. The Holiday Scorched are here for whatever reason. But that's what's going on right now. So go enjoy some Christmas time in April. Maybe that was Bethesda's April Fool's joke. I don't know. But anyway, how are you doing, Kane? It's good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I think it's an April Fool's joke. I don't know what else it could be. But anyway, we joke about all the reskins and stuff, but now they're just throwing the Christmas in April. That's pretty cool. Anyway, a lot of Fallout 76 news, as y'all know, with the 011 news dropping this week. So I want to get y'all's take on it. I'm going to give you my take on what I think's been going on. We knew there's been something going on in the background with Bethesda Austin and with Fallout 76. And this one kind of hit us right out of left field. I don't know if anybody predicted another studio taking over, or at least taking over some of the duties of Fallout 76. Most of you have heard the news, so I'm not going to just make this a news video of that, because I think you've heard the news. But real quick, if you don't know anything about 011, they have worked on games like Rust. They worked on Minecraft Dungeons. I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, Goat Simulator. There's another one they worked on. But they have come on board now. And what does that mean for the future of Fallout 76? Of course, we don't know. The future will tell us. But I believe it's good news, without getting into the details. Because, as we all know, we've had a year of drought that left all the fans of Fallout 76 kind of wondering what's going on. But let's go back and kind of, now as we can kind of look back and see what was going on. In their statement, it says they've been talking to Bethesda since late 2020, which is wild. And they actually began working with Bethesda Game Studios in 2021, which is around the time period that Jeff Gardner left. So big changes happened right in there. Now, again, whatever happened, why it happened, I don't know. Maybe, and again, I'm going to throw out a bunch of maybes, but I'm going to say right off the bat, we don't know. We know, again, a lot of people were leaving Bethesda. We also can see now that evidently Bethesda didn't have enough content lined up, which might have been one of the things. I mean, look, we had a year worth that really was very, very lackluster in content. So maybe that was one of the reasons that, I don't know. Again, I would hate to say that was one of the reasons why someone was let go. I don't know. Just throwing some ideas out there. But we have this studio coming in, and from what it sounds like, and I'm going to give y'all some other information here, from what it sounds like, they're going to be taking over a majority of the work. if you'll remember, about 3 weeks ago or so, we talked about the game Spy Team. We talked about the game Wormwood. We talked about all those new games that were in the pipes for Bethesda and Bethesda Game Studios. And I told you that Bethesda Game Studios Austin was working on a new game, and it might, in fact, be that Spy Team, which is kind of interesting because this would be a good reason why they need another developer to come in and working. If Bethesda Game Studios Austin is working on another game, think about it. Maybe they started working on another game back in 2020 and they thought they could keep up with working on a new game and with Fallout 76, but they couldn't. The content went down. Again, I'm throwing out maybes here. We don't know, but looking backwards, we can see a little bit now as we go forward. But we do know this. We do know, again, for sure now, there is another game coming from Bethesda Game Studios Austin. We'll get into that game in just a little bit, I promise. But let's move forward on this Double 11 a little bit. What does this mean for the future of Fallout 76? Let me read y'all's comments real quick, and I'm going to give you what I think. Again, I do believe it's good news. We're yet to see what their work is, how good it is, but I do want to get your opinion. What do you feel about a non-BGS studio working on Fallout? Jeremy says, sounds like they do a lot of work with Microsoft. Yes, they do, which is kind of funny because Double 11 used to be a Sony exclusive studio, which is kind of interesting. Hey, Vampire Sage, what's going on? Welcome from Arkansas. Jonathan, is Fallout 76 still relevant? Well, it definitely took a dip in relevance, but hopefully now with a new developer coming on board, which is what we're talking about, it's going to come back. And in fact, that's what we're going to get into. What it sounds like with Expeditions and this Nuka World, which our Nuka on tour, the Nuka World on tour, which is going to be the first major thing we're going to see from Double 11. And that's why I'm going to hold my opinion on Double 11 until then. But they've kind of been working alongside BGS, but that's going to be their first major thing on their own. So if you want to know how their content's going to be, just hold on until the fall or the winter, and you're going to see that Nuka World on tour. If it's great, then the future is going to be really bright. But yes, I do believe that Fallout 6 is going to get back to where it, or at least that's what Microsoft is wanting, is for the content to get back to where it was. So yes, I think for whatever reason the content dipped, whether it was because BGS Austin was working on another game and they thought they could maintain, or someone lost their job over it, whatever it was, something happened. And that's why Double 11 has come in. Thank you, Johnny Smith. Bless your heart. $10 on the super chat. You are awesome. And yes, Kane, very good point, Kane. I was going to point that out. Not only can we be assured that they are going to be working on it, they are hiring, they are expanding. Double 11 is expanding their studio in a major way. They want to get bigger than they've ever been, and it's all because of Fallout 76. So thank you, Kane, for that, for reminding me of that. But again, thank you, Johnny, for the super chat. Y'all don't know how much that means. Again, real quick, since that came up, I've been away from YouTube, as y'all know. Haven't been able to work near as much, so the super chats are wonderful. Jonathan says storage capped at 800 killed it for me within a game where all you do is loot. Hey, we're up to 1200 now. Demar says seems like a little bit of passing the game around and no one taking firm control of it. Hold on, I think I'm gonna help you with that. Dr. Broomstick says I just joined, but this is not good news. I think it might be. Hold on. Johnny says, hey, King, how are you feeling? I am super excited about Bethesda getting help on 76. And Dr. Broomstick says, Double 11 was reasonable for a game called Rust, it was bad too. Now remember, all they did was port Rust to the consoles. What they did there, but again, we're going to know about their work when we look at the Nuka World on tour, and I'm gonna hold my opinion until then. But hey, I do understand being what's the word? Being concerned or being reserved with your, I'm going to wait and see. That is one thing. But I will say this, and this is why I'm saying I cannot say it's bad, because what we've had is a year of almost nothing. Okay, so them being progressive and getting on the ball and getting content to us, that is something that is good, and that's where I'm saying it is good. Uh, yeah, the port of Rust. Yeah, I've heard there was problems with the port of Rust. Now, I'm not speaking as one. I haven't played it, so I don't know. I do know it was buggy. I do know that the content was down. Now that wasn't their fault. They had limitations because of size and that thing, but I did heard it was kind of buggy. But again, I'm going to hold my opinion until I see their actual what they've actually done. I do know this. I do know they helped with the Alien event, and in my opinion, it's one of the best events that has been in the game uh, up to this point. So that gets me encouraged. Now, I will say this: BGS is not handing the game off. Somebody said with no one taking firm control of it. Uh, BGS is still in control. Mark Tucker's still the head of it. BGS still has the supervision of the game, and they're still going to do work on the game. Now, uh, are they trying to? This can be an argument again. Are they trying to do too much? Trying to do two games at once in one studio? Yeah, that could definitely be an argument for sure. But BGS is still going to have the control of what's going on. Uh, we're going to see going forward how much uh, Double 11 expands, and then how good their work is. I believe, if they do a good job with their Nuka World on tour and their first few projects, I believe they'll be given more and more and more latitude to do what they uh, given more freedom, if you will, to do what they want to do. Again, the one good thing, guys, is, and you can't. I mean, Fallout 76, the way it was. I mean, and I understand all the uh, being fearful, but the way it was for the past year, it was literally dying. Bethesda was allowing it to die with no content, so they had to do nothing. They had to do something. Now, I will say this, and I wonder. I've been saying for quite a while, and I'm going to get to y'all's comments, I promise. I've been saying for quite a while we were going to see very quickly how much Microsoft was in charge. Uh, I I'm pretty sure this was a Microsoft decision, not a Bethesda decision. Again, looking back, we're getting a little clearer picture of what was going on, where somebody was let go in the middle of 2021. It was that same time period that Double 11 was hired to come on. So something was lacking with BGS Austin, okay? And somebody stepped in, being Microsoft, and said, we've got to make a change. There's not enough content. I think they could see the future. I think they could see what we have now lived through, that BGS didn't have enough content coming. The statement that Double 11 put out says they have been working since mid 2021, or the first of 2021. So that means they're working 6 months to a year ahead of when we see the content. Okay. So when we get to see the Nuka World, whatever it's called, I keep changing the name of it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. In the winter, uh, they were working on that last winter. They were working on that a year ago. So what I'm saying is, Microsoft saw a problem back at the end of 2020. Okay, Microsoft saw at the end of 2020, start of 2021, hey, there's not enough content coming. We've got to do something. And that's when, and again, I'm giving you my opinion of what happened. That's when people were let go, people left, and a new studio was hired. And we've had to endure a year worth of no content because Microsoft saw, hey, this is coming. So, okay, let me get to y'all stuff. Yes, let's see. Kane says, oh, Kane was talking to you. DeMar says, I also had not heard about the 1200 limit. Haven't played since Steel Rain came out. Yes, 1200. Come back and try. Dr. Boomstick says the Port of Rust was more than buggy. The graphics looked like PS1 graphics. Oh, that's not good. And have you played it, Dr. Broomstick, by the way? And the content in the port was and still is missing about 30%. Now, that's what I have heard. I have heard that is more of a console problem than the developer problem. But again, that's coming from somebody that hasn't played it. Dr. Broomstick also says they have improved the graphics by a lot, but still missing some of the core of Rust. Hey, Jersey Dolphins, haven't seen you in a while. Great to see you back. Microsoft ain't dumb. They know that engine is outdated. Yes. By the way, last week, the last time we were here, we did talk about an update to Fallout 76 that is in the works. That is a next generation update for Fallout 76. So that is also in the pipes and in the works too. But again, somebody or something got us behind in Austin, and I think Microsoft is trying to fix this. Kane says there are a lot of Fallout modders in the UK. Yes, by the way, Double 11 is in the UK. Another great point, Kane. If some of them join Double 11, it could be very good for 76. Jeremy says Double 11 might have become better, and they might just be coming up with ideas, and Bethesda implements it. And again, remember, they are hiring massively. If you look at what Double 11 is a very, very, very small studio. The studio that did Rust is not going to be the same studio that's going to be working on Fallout 76 because now they are getting a lot of money pumped into them. Okay. Even though they are not a Microsoft studio, but they are getting money pumped into them to hire from the outside. So, you're going to have a totally different studio now with hopefully higher level and more of employees coming in. Let's see. And that's where Jeremy talking about might become better. I hope they become better. We hope every studio becomes better as they go, but that should be a reason they become better. Dr. Broomstick, yes, you do have the Rust. Vampire Sage says, hey, King, guess what? I just liked the video. What do you think about that? Thank you, Vampire Sage. Remind everybody else to like that video. Jersey Dolphin says, thanks, King. Glad to catch a live show again and hope Mom is doing fine. Let me give y'all an update. A couple of y'all have asked. My mother did have a surgery on her back. She broke her back. Bless her heart. But she is doing better. She is home and she is resting and recovering. I'm still here with her. Now she's going to have a heart procedure done soon. So we've had a lot going on, and that's why you haven't seen as much of me. So I appreciate your prayers. I appreciate your thoughts. I appreciate your support very much. So this is just one of those times in life where I have a lot going on. So thank y'all so much for thinking about me and thinking about me and my family. And Johnny, thank you for the super chat again during that time. Okay. Now, with all that said, that's just my take on why I believe Double 11 was brought in. Now that I'm looking backwards, I've had several takes coming up to today with what has been going on, trying to figure out, because of course Bethesda hasn't said anything, but now that this has happened out of left field, I think we can look back and see, hey, when Bethesda took over Fallout 76, let me just boil it down if somebody's just jumping in, okay? When Microsoft took over Bethesda, they looked at what was going on at Fallout 76, this live service game. And remember, to give Jeff Garner, because Jeff Garner's a great guy. I like him. I think he's a great, he does great on games. I mean, he's worked with Bethesda all the way back to Fallout 3. But Live service games are a different animal, and Bethesda knew nothing about them before they started them. But they live and die with new content. That's what is so important. And you can literally never stop developing on a live service game. And when Microsoft took over, again, this is what I'm deducing out of all this. When they took over BGS Austin and they looked at what was going on in Fallout 76, they realized over the next year and a half, they didn't have enough content ready to go. There was going to be a huge gap in content. Now, maybe some of it was COVID. Let's give them a break. Absolutely, we are seeing some of that is COVID. Maybe they just stopped during some of COVID. Maybe they had to. Maybe they eased off too much. Whatever it was, there was way too much of a gap in content, and they saw that. And the powers that be said, we've got to do something different. So now we're going to have, and this is the key, it's not just going to be Double 11, Dr. Broomstick. It's going to be BGS Austin and Double 11 putting out content, because what we have coming up now, we know the expeditions are being done by BGS Austin. And then the Nuka World thing in the winter is done by Double 11. So hopefully that's what they're going to keep doing. They're going to keep staggering. We're going to get one update by BGS, one update done by Double 11. And hopefully BGS Austin has grown enough that they can work on these two games. Now, with that said, let me talk about this new game. I'm going to remind you a little bit about the new game, because again, it's been 3 or 4 weeks since I talked to you about it. We talk about so much news here on the KingCast. I hope you realize I don't do single videos on all these things for clickbait like a lot of people do, but we talk about so much news, and sometimes we talk about it way before anybody else, if y'all picked up on it. But the spy team that we talked about a long time ago, this trademark was originally filed in 2018, okay? That was right after the BGS Austin studio was announced. Now, I want y'all to think about this timetable. The BGS Austin studio was announced, okay? We found out, hey, there's an Austin Bethesda Game Studios. Then Spy Team trademark was announced by Bethesda. And it's at the same time the Battle Cry game that the Austin studio was working on, remember they used to be called Battle Cry Studios, was canceled. Okay, so whatever that game was, or maybe a core of that game, or maybe it was another game they had planned in the future, whatever it was something along with that studio they had planned, okay? That is Spy Team. Now, whether Spy Team is going to be the actual name, I don't know. What it has to do with, I have no clue, other than it's coming from BGS Austin. Now, BGS Austin has also expanded their team. Like I said, some of them are working on Fallout 76. Some of them are working on Spy Team. So we are going to be getting a new IP from Bethesda Game Studios Austin. I do believe it's going to be an MMO. It's going to be a multiplayer game. I do believe it probably will have some of the guts of the Battle Cry. You can go back and look at some of that, but it's going to be in a whole new format. And they have learned a lot since doing Fallout 76. So it may be a really good game. I don't know. I miss griefing players. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Let's see. By the way, we might even hear about Spy Team this year at a showcase, at a Bethesda showcase. Speaking of that is a good segue. Man, we've already been talking for 25 minutes. E3 has been canceled this year. If y'all haven't heard, that was not an April Fool's joke. Not only has E3 been physically canceled this year, but E3 digitally has been canceled. That means everybody will just have their individual events. Now, Bethesda will still have a showcase. I'm sure they haven't announced that, but I'm sure they will. If you also remember a few weeks ago, I told you that there was a rumor that I had heard that Starfield might be revealed in May instead of June. This might be the reason why. Maybe it had already come out and they knew that E3 was going to be canceled, which is normally in June. So maybe Bethesda is going to do their showcase in May. That would be great. So maybe we're going to hear about Spy Team this year. That would be great to know. Maybe it's a game that's almost done because they have been working on it at least since 2018. At least that's when the trademark was filed. Okay. Whew. That was a lot of talking. So, I've heard some of y'all. What is y'all's thoughts about 011? I do believe that it at least means this. Now, the quality of the content, Dr. Boomstick, that is left. We're going to have to wait and see. Okay. I agree with you totally. We're going to have to wait and see. However, I am so thankful that Fallout 76 is not dying, that Microsoft saw what was going on. They're not leaving it to die. They're doing something about it. Now we've been told that it's at least going 5 years, and we've got 2 studios working on it. So, with all that said, that is great news. It is relevant again. They do understand that it is a live service game, and they're going to give it content. So, there you go. So, with all that said, I'm going to move on to the next subject. Y'all can tell me if y'all got other comments about 011. But again, we've taken almost half the podcast on that. But that's a lot of stuff going on in the news right there. The Fallout TV show announced this week that Ella Purnell, I don't know if y'all know her. She has starred on the Yellow Jackets, Army of the Dead. She is going to be one of the leads on the show. I'm gonna have to change my format on here so I can show y'all pictures and stuff. It's just easier to do it this way, but it would be nice to be able to show y'all pictures. It would be nice to punch up a picture of her right now. Hey, what's up, Murph? Anyway, she is going to be one of the leads on the show. Her name is going to be Jean, and as I told y'all when they announced the last lead on the show, which his name is Walton Goggins. He was the guy that was the actor on S.H.I.E.L.D., Tomb Raider, and even the Ant-Man and the Wasp. He is the ghoul. They're going to have a lead of 1 male, 1 female, and 1 ghoul. So now we've got the male the female that's been named, the ghoul that's been named, and we're waiting to see who the lead male is on the TV show. They keep saying also that production is this year, so I'm still saying I do believe next fall, I'm still shooting for next fall. We're going to get that TV show. I hope so anyway. Let's see. We all know that the new show means for we all know what a new show means for anything in this day we live in, sadly. Let me read that again, Jersey Dolphins. We all know what a new show means for anything in this day we live in, sadly. Type that again. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Jeremy says E3 needs to move out of California, then it might be worth going to. Bring it to Arkansas. Yeah, I did want to mention, dadgummit, thank you for saying something about E3 again. My mind's going everywhere. I'm sorry. I am so busy right now in my personal life. I cannot think, but I'm so glad to be on here with y'all. Anyway, E3 was canceled this year. A lot of people are upset thinking this is the end of E3, but no, the head of the E3 Association made a statement, and I meant to say that when I was doing it, and this is it. E3 will return in 2023. Yes. With a reinvigorated showcase that celebrates new and exciting video games and industry innovations. So that's really awesome news that E3 is coming back next year. In fact, they say that's one reason they're canceling it this year to already get to work on next year. So I'm excited to see what this reinvigorated E3 is going to be like next year. And maybe I can go next year. That'd be wonderful. And maybe that nasty Corona will be gone by next year too. That would be wonderful. Let's see. DBZ, hey, what's going on? I wish Starfield was on PS5. I do have Starfield news. Y'all hang on. I hope they have giant ants. Uh, Jersey Dolphin says they will box check it. Oh, okay, I got you, Jersey Dolphins. Uh, Nothing good. Nothing good. Have y'all watched the Halo show? By the way, I've heard that it's not very good, but I haven't watched it. You know, I've watched The Witcher. I've watched a few of them, but I haven't watched. Yeah, it stinks. Okay, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. I hope they do justice to Fallout. If Fallout is anything like The Witcher, I'm good with it. Hey, DeMarco, dude, what's going on, man? I'm sorry I had to cancel last week, brother. We're gonna get together on this. Thank you for dropping in. Hey, Lady Braven, what's going on? DBZ says would be awesome if it went back to the glory days. Yes. DeMarco Du says E3 will need to kill it in 2023. Geoff Kingsley is slated to take the whole thing over, and he had a 1 hour discussion where they were talking about the future plans, and he seems like he has it on lock. I didn't see that. I need to watch that. And Kane says it's not leaving LA. Well, hey, Kane, it can move to Arkansas and still be in LA. It can go to Lower Arkansas, LA, right? No. Anyway, Jersey Dolphin says I watch GNN only, and now your show. Alpha Doberman, what's going on? Good to see you. Halo is a good game, but a terrible show. That's what I've heard. DeMarco Du says he wants a Summer Game Fest to take over in place of E3. That sounds kind of cool. Jeremy says it's all right, just don't think it goes with the game. If you get all access from Xbox, you get the 5-game disc special to play. Very cool. That is awesome. That is awesome. Back to the TV show real quick again. That Ella Purnell. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the TV show. Want to learn more. Again, I think I mentioned all this. There's 3 leads. There's going to be a male, female, and a ghoul. We now know the female, which her name is Jean. She has a secret that we don't know about. That's what the article said. The ghoul is Walton Goggins, and then a male, we don't know who that is. And again, I still think we're going to get it next fall. I hope so. Okay, real quick, Ghostwire Tokyo reviews. I know most of y'all don't play Ghostwire Tokyo. It is Sony only, but I did want to give you the reviews because most of them are pretty good. So I was pleasantly surprised. DeMarco, did you play Ghostwire? I think you did. Have any others played Ghostwire? Anyway, the meta score for Ghostwire Tokyo is a 75. The user score is an 8.0. IGN is a 7 out of 10. PC Gamer gave it a 72. GameSpot gave it an 8 out of 10 and said it was great. So it didn't hit a home run, but yet pretty good reviews for that game. Being a very different type game from Tango Gameworks. So I was pleased that they got pretty good. Yes, it is also on PC too, Kane. Thank you. Lady Braven says, I have not watched the new Halo game. Hey, Dale, would get more attendance if it was in Arkansas. It might be safer. That's true. Okay, let's talk Starfield. A couple of things. Of course, Emil Pagliaro. Did I say that right? He had a interview with himself this week, so we're going to talk about that. But if y'all were paying attention on Reddit today, 5 new leaked photos have just hit the internet. So again, I need to change my format so I could share pictures with you. But if y'all want to, if you're on a computer, if you want to open another tab and look at those leaked photos while you're listening to the show, you can. We're going to talk about those new leaks and what they may be. I think they go right along with some of the things that we've talked about that we think are going to be in Starfield anyway. These appear to be from a very old build of Starfield, a 2018 build. But I'm going to describe these pictures real quick. If you cannot see them now, I'm going to describe what they're looking like. Most of them are of the same thing, are of a space station looking thing. And don't think of a big round space station. It's almost like a spaceship that's being built on the ground. Think of that. It looks like a spaceship that's under construction, or a space station that's under construction, that's on the ground. In fact, we know it's on the ground because one of the pictures has it actually sitting on stands on the ground. It's sitting up on stands, and you can see the windows and all that. Uh, but you can see the curves of it from another picture, that's actually what it is. You can see inside the windows of the space station in the third picture. He's standing up on the side of it in the fourth picture. And the fifth picture, I think, again, we're looking inside a window. So they're all basically the same thing. It is of this space station or this spaceship. Very quick, Jersey Dolphins, again, bless your heart. Y'all do not know how much those super chats mean. I live and die on the Patreon and super chats, especially me not being able to be on YouTube right now. And by the way, I don't know, I know some of my new subscribers do not know this. I'm gonna give you my quick hard luck story real quick. This is what I do for a living, other than pastor. I do pastor a small church, but I have a severe case of lupus. That's why I'm almost homebound. So this is what I do for a living. So YouTube is my living, and when I can't do YouTube, boy, my family don't like it very much because we don't pay the bills very well. So, and right now I'm taking care of mom and not able to work on YouTube very much. So y'all do not know how much the super chats and Patreons mean. I keep telling my wife I'm going to lose some Patreons. I haven't had no content, and then I get on here and y'all give me super chats. Y'all are fantastic to me, and I just appreciate y'all so much. So I'm not begging for money. I'm telling y'all how much I appreciate y'all. So thank you, Jersey Dolphins, for that. That is fantastic. Thank you very, very much. Kane says, my daughter loves it. I guess you're talking about Ghostwire Tokyo. Very, very cool. Jersey Dolphin says, lady agreed that's way better than the new show. Okay, cool. Damar says, do you have that source that says Walter Goggins is a ghoul? I haven't seen that. Oh, yeah. In fact, that was old news. In fact, you can look on the new, most of the news stories, Damar, actually have that announced what's her name, Ella Parnell. The article that I have open today. In fact, I probably have it closed now. Yeah, I've got it closed. The article that I opened today that had her name on it had his name on it too. So just look on the current news. In fact, type in Fallout TV show and the news will come up, and you'll find his name in there. I promise. I mean, I'm not giving you unverified news. It is verified news. He is the ghoul, and if you think about what he looks like, he's going to be a perfect ghoul. So. Well, thank you, Jersey Dolphins. I appreciate that. Yes, I married up. My wife is awesome. LH says, would be great if they cast Brian Delaney, Nate from Fallout 4, as the main male lead in the show. Dying to see him being a sarcastic jerk in live action. That is cool. That is absolutely cool. Okay, these images, the Starfield images that I was talking about, they all look like a grounded spaceship slash space station. And I'm going to tell you why I keep saying spaceship slash space station, that you're building on the ground. I believe the settlement building in Starfield is going to be, one of the main uses is going to be, you're going to get to build your big spaceship. If you've seen some of the concept art if you go back and look at the last video that Bethesda put out for Starfield, you'll see the big starship, and there's actually a little spaceship on top of the big spaceship. Again, I'm going to have to change my format so I can put these pictures up for y'all. But hopefully some of y'all will remember what I'm talking about. There's a big ship with a little ship on top of it, so that you fly long journeys in outer space with the big one, and then like you get in the little ship to go down to the planet to land. I believe the settlement building is going to be that you get to modify that big ship that you get to expand it, you get to build it, you get to change it the way you want it. And these leaked pictures that we're seeing here is actually the big ship, the big space station ship, and it's up on stands, and you can actually see it being built, being changed. So I think that's the settlement building that you're going to get to do. Now, you may be able to build settlements down on the planets and stuff too. That probably will be in the game as well. But I believe one of the ways that the settlement building is going to be is that main big ship that you have. And I believe these leaked photos are that. So that's wonderful to see here. And by the way, again, if y'all haven't heard, these are 5 leaked photos from today. They just came out today. So there you go. More justification for what we've talked about with Starfield. Back to what Emil said, and we'll talk more about the TV show because I know y'all want to talk about that. I would love to get some of y'all's opinions about who y'all would like to see as that male lead. Y'all be thinking about that, and we may end the show with that. The Emil guy from Bethesda who gave the interview about Starfield this week, he made some statements, and I'm telling you, I have never heard Bethesda talk about a game this way. And I know a studio is supposed to talk up a game. I'm almost getting No Man's Sky vibes. And that's a bad thing. I know that's turned into a really good, it's turned into a good game. What's going on with Avowed? Avowed is coming very, very soon. I can't wait to play Avowed, by the way. Let me see, what is the release date for Avowed? They just say 2022. It's this year, but do they not say a date? Does anybody know the date? I knew it was this year. I guess they're going to announce it at late 2022. Okay. I knew they were shooting for this year. Hey, True Flat. Yeah, it's still coming this year from what I've heard, which is really strange. So it's probably going to go up against Starfield. It's probably coming this fall, which is really wild. That's going to be 2 games that I really, really want to play at the same time. I'll choose Starfield first. I'll play Starfield first. But I love high fantasy is my favorite. That is my absolute favorite type game. I love the Elder Scrolls. I love that. If I had to pick a time period in history, I know it don't have elves and all that stuff, but I love the knights and all that stuff. So that's just my favorite type stuff. DeMar says again, Justin says, hail to the king. Hey, Blameless. I hope I said your name right. Great to see you looking so well, King. Thank you so much. Do you expect to fly your ship or even drive vehicles? Yes, 100%. I don't know about. Yes, I do. I actually do. I believe 100% we will be flying ships, no doubt. I believe we'll be able to fly the big ship, and I believe we'll be able to fly the little ship as well. What we were just talking about, the big ship with the little ship on top of it. Now, the big ship that's in outer space, that one might not be much fun because, I mean, it's just going to be black. You know, it's not going to be much to see. You're going to be up in space. But the little ship, being able to go down to the planet and land and all that, this is the ship you actually see in the trailer that the guy's starting up and hitting all the switches and all that. That one is going to be exciting and fun to watch. And that kind of leads me into these statements that Emil was saying. I want you to listen to these statements and tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think this is hyperbole? Do you think he's, again, I get the No Man's Sky vibe. If y'all remember what the developer for No Man's Sky did, he talked up his game way, way, way too much, which is really why the game failed. The game was not that terrible when it came out. Now it's much better now, but they made so many promises that the game couldn't do. He just over talked the game way too much, which they kind of did with Cyberpunk too, but not to the point of No Man's Sky. But anyway, listen to this. Emil says, and you've probably heard this line, he said, players are going to lose their minds. Now, I have heard that kind of hyperbolic language from Pete Hines, from Todd Howard, from now Emil Pagliaro, however you say his name. from several people inside Bethesda. But he keeps going. He says, now just listen to these adjectives. It's been awe-inspiring watching Starfield morph into this amazing game with us covering so much new ground. So he talks about this game being awe-inspiring, and of course, it's exciting to hear him talking about the new ground that they're covering with the game. But I mean, what do y'all think about how they talk about it? I mean, are they is it just PR, or is this game really going to be a game changer in the industry? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Skyrim was a game changer in the industry. If y'all can think back that far, uh, that was of course 2011, and it changed gaming. It really did. We wouldn't have The Witcher 3. We wouldn't have Breath of the Wild if Skyrim hadn't have come out. You say, it really changed gaming. It was so good. Uh, I don't think Bethesda gets enough credit for Morrowind, for Oblivion, for those games were just they changed the industry. They were wow. Justin said, sounds like typical PR talk. It does to one extent, but I've never heard them talk. I've never heard Bethesda talk to this point. I've heard Todd talk good about games, but you just listen to the language they use about Starfield, and it makes you think there's going to be something different about this game. It's like when you hear. I'm going to give you all a sports analogy. Uh, I like sports, so you can hear coaches, and coaches give coach speak, what I call coach speak. They always say the same things. We we play as a team and all this. But if you listen closely, you can know whether a coach knows if he has a good team or not. Listen to them in the spring when they're talking about spring football. Every coach from the worst team to the best team will say the same things. They will say the exact same things. But if you listen close enough, you will know if a coach believes that his team is good and going to win or not, just by some little bitty things that they say. And I'm getting that hint from Bethesda, just from these these little these little things that slip out of their mouth, that like they really believe they've got something special in this game. And that's what I'm getting from this. I don't believe it's just PR. I think they really believe they've got something special in Starfield, and that gets me excited. True Flat, bless your heart. Thank you so much. We will just have to wait and see. We will, but we won't have to wait very long. A reveal for Starfield will be coming as early as next month. Now, get that in your mind. It may be coming May. We may be getting a full reveal of Starfield as early as May. Now that E3 is gone, it can come anytime. And the rumor has been that it may come May instead of June. It normally comes June, but we may get it as early as next month. So let that sink in. Isn't Emil just an artist? No, Emil is no, he's one of the very high uppers there. Now, he does, let me look up his bio for you. I know he's more than an artist. Let me give you exactly what it says about him. Video game designer. I don't want that. Give me his bio from Bethesda. I mean, he does like quest design. He does all kinds of stuff. He's a lead designer. He's one of the lead designers on Starfield. There you go. This is from Bethesda.net. Again, if I had a different format, I could let it pop up for you. Design director. Now, part of that obviously is being an artist, but he is the design director. He's worked there for 20 years, all the way back to Morrowind. Lead designer and writer. Okay, he's a writer too. I knew he did more than that. So there you go. He's a lead designer and writer. I knew he was on the quests and stuff like that too. Okay, let's see. DeMar says definitely not enough credit for Morrowind. Opened my eyes when it came to games. Oh man, Morrowind. If you can get through the graphics of Morrowind, y'all need to go back and play Morrowind. In my opinion, probably the best Elder Scrolls game. And other than the Arena and Daggerfall, I'm taking those out because we're talking about the modern games. Morrowind really started the modern games, but it's the most difficult one. It does not have quest markers. I mean, it is, if you want a true role playing immersive experience, that's Morrowind. If they ever did a remake, a true remake, Morrowind would be it. By the way, this is just for free since we're talking about some of the older games. Sky Oblivion just got an update. They are getting closer and closer to the completion of Sky Oblivion. I hope that one comes to fruition soon so we can play that. If you've never played Oblivion, I like Oblivion better than Skyrim. Shame on me, but I do. I love that game. Other than the terrible faces, the faces are horrible. Other than that, I love Oblivion. I think the best DLC of any Bethesda game is in Oblivion. The Shivering Isles. Love it. Love it. If you've never played it, man, you've missed something. Okay. DBZ says, could it just be because it's a new IP after so long? Could be. Jersey Dolphin says, put me in, coach. Kane says his first game was Morrowind. Yep. Jeremy, most people are proud of the work they do if they put enough energy into it. But again, I've never heard them talk to this extent. I think they see they've got something special. And that's what he was talking about when he made that statement that people are going to lose their minds over Starfield. He was making it when he was talking about that games are normally a mess when they first start, and when it kind of came together and started getting to be in playable form, it kind of made him stop and go, wow. In fact, that's what he said. He went, wow, this is really amazing. People are going to lose their mind. This is something we have something here. We just got to finish it. And that's what he said. So very cool. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that about the game. Todd Howard says the most epic sci-fi game of all time. So that's what Todd says about it. Okay, we got about 8 minutes left in the podcast, man. We've covered a lot, and it feels like that we went flying through all of it, but there is a lot of news out there. We're to the part where you get to talk about anything you want to talk about. Y'all can always talk about anything you want to talk about, but throw anything at me. I would like to hear, as we're closing out, your pick for the male lead in Fallout. Give me an actor. If you don't know his name, tell me what he plays in, and we'll try to figure out who he is. Now that we know the female lead, and now that we know the ghoul lead, we know that only one more lead is left. And by the way, as soon as that is announced, I believe they will go into full production. They've already got, from what I know about the TV show, they have said that the writing is pretty much done. They've got everything ready to go. They just need the male lead. And they may already have it. They may just not have announced it yet, maybe because it's working on something else or whatever. But again, I'm shooting for next fall. Bruce Campbell. He may be a little old, seeing that the female is this, but that would be amazing. Love old Bruce. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome, Justin. If we could go back about 15 years, wouldn't Bruce be awesome? That would be Keanu Reeves. Yeah. Keanu's all right. The only reason I hesitate is because he is he's been in a couple of other games, so Hugh Jackman, he would be fantastic too. Yeah, he's a little older too. but he's a great actor. You know, I haven't thought of it. I haven't thought long enough to see who I would want. This the girl they just picked, this Ella. I don't know. She probably looks 28ish. So I'm guessing they probably want a male that's around that age, uh, maybe a little older. Um, how about the what about the guy? And I can't remember his name. Y'all can help me out. The guy that plays Captain Kirk in the new movie, Christopher Pine. He would be pretty good. I don't know if he's grizzly and gruff enough for a fall up, but I like him. He'd be pretty good. Needs to be a skinny dude. Bruce is like fine wine, gets better with age. I agree. Chris Pratt. Now, Chris Pratt would be great. Yeah, I like Chris Pratt. Wouldn't that would be fantastic? Wouldn't that be great? I don't think you could probably ever get Chris Pratt, but wow, that's one thing that I think made The Witcher so great is because they got Henry Cavill, such a great actor. Uh, I mean, he's perfect for it, just perfect for it. But yeah, Pratt would be great. Unexpected Outcome says Anthony Lemon. Did I say that right? He was one of the stars of the TV show Dark Matter, but I think he's in his 40s. Billy Burke probably won't be a huge star. Gerald Butler. All right, y'all gonna have to tell me what they were in. I'm not a big Hollywood guy. Okay, I mispronounced it. I'm sorry. Anthony Lemke? Hey, Spartan, what's going on? Tom Hardy. I know that name. Tom Hardy. I know that name. I can't think of his. By the way, while y'all are thinking about people, can I give y'all my opinion on something? And it's going to be, y'all are going to, this is probably not popular, but I'm going to give my opinion. I don't know if y'all have ever played the game Uncharted, but y'all know the Uncharted movie. I think little Spider-Man in Uncharted just does not fit that part. I'm sorry. He's just too young, too small, too I don't know. I just cannot make him be Drake or whatever his name is. That I'm sorry. If y'all like him and like that, then y'all can just don't hit dislike on it. But the Deadpool guy, yeah, he'd be great too. He'd be wonderful too. Him and Chris Pratt, either one would be. I think they're unattainable, but yeah, they would be fantastic. I would. Tom Hardy, yeah, Tom Hardy would be good. The only thing that's Jeremy, I actually thought about him. He was in a movie that I watched last night with the Star Trek guy that I was talking about, Chris Pine. But the only thing is, isn't he British? And this Ella girl, she's British. And wait a minute, this is Fallout. This is an American thing. I know we can have British people over here, but anyway, you would think, and I know they're actors and they can speak in an American accent, but he would be good. I like him. He's a good guy. Spartan, you agree with me on Little Tom? Little Tom is not good for. They just ruined Uncharted. I don't even want to see that movie now. He just does not fit the casting. But I did hear the story on that. Adam Sandler. I'd have to think about that one, DBZ. The story that I heard, I have not confirmed Tom Holland. Yeah, no, I call him Little Tom. The story that I heard on Uncharted was that they actually hired the guy that's playing Sully. I can't remember his name right now. They actually hired him to play Drake. But the movie took so long to start that when it came time to start the movie, Tom Holland showed up, and the guy didn't even know that they had switched his part to Sully, but they had actually hired him. Yeah, they Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa. I don't know. I don't want The Rock. He's been in too much. I don't. It's not that I don't like The Rock, but I don't think he would be good for Fallout. But I need a break from The Rock for a while. I love him and stuff, but we need a break from The Rock. Anyway, Gary Busey. That's a Fallout face right there. There's a Fallout face. If you want to know what nuclear war does to you, Gary Busey. Who said that tomorrow? That's perfect. That's perfect. It'll make you go crazy. So, but there's the story about what's his name that's playing Sully in that movie. He was actually hired to do Drake in Uncharted, and it took so long to start the movie that they moved him to Sully. But he would be a much better Drake. They should have just hired. They should have just kept him as Drake and hired an older Sully. Anyway, David Lyons. Okay, I don't know David Lyons. I know John Cena. I like John Cena. I don't know David Lyons. Truflat says totally picturing Snoop now. Who said Snoop? Oh man, y'all are great. Adam Sandler, give us your loot. Shut up. The Raiders, give us your loot. Y'all are great. Yeah. I'm sitting here trying to think of somebody other than Chris Pine. Chris Pine would be all right. Let's see. Who else would be good? The Undertaker. Y'all got anybody else? The Elder Scrolls. They did want to do an Elder Scrolls show a long time ago, back before Game of Thrones. Even they wanted to do an Elder Scrolls show, and Todd Howard turned them down. But of course, back then, and we've talked about this on the King Gas before. Back then, almost every game adaptation had been terrible on the movies and all that. And if y'all remember back then, we talked about what was the first game adaptation that was actually good on TV or the movies, and y'all disagreed with me. I said it was Doom the movie with The Rock, but y'all disagreed with me. I thought it was pretty good, even though it was not a success. Dale, I agree. We need KingFanMan as a side character. Yes, he needs to have a sweet tea vending shack there on the side of the road. Just a little, he just needs to make just a brief appearance. Would y'all like some sweet tea? Well, guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed today's show. I have enjoyed hanging out with y'all. I needed this so much. I am so sorry for not being around very much the past couple of weeks, but y'all understand. Please, please, please keep me, keep my mom, keep my family in your prayers. I know that you do. I'm going to continue to be on here as much as possible. I've got several things that I'm working on that I want to get out to y'all. Spread the word about the KingCast. I don't think people realize how much news that we go over. We cover more in an hour than most channels do in a week. Really, they put out these videos for clickbait, and we cover all this news. So y'all just spread the news if you don't mind. I appreciate that so much. By the way, Kane put out a video. Was it last week? And Kane, my lupus is hitting me. But anyway, he celebrated a YouTube anniversary and a milestone, and I'm going to give him a shout out. Y'all go check his channel out. If you're not, he needs more subscribers. He gave me a shout out, so I'm gonna give him a shout out. I'm gonna try to throw up his link real quick before we go. Y'all forgive me for taking so long. There we go. There you go, Kane. Y'all go. Yeah, your first year. It was your first year anniversary. Thank you, Kane. There is Kane's link, so y'all go subscribe to Kane, and he very graciously gave me a shout out for helping him a little bit, and but he's done it all on his own. So y'all go check him out. He does great work. Hey, Psycho, what's going on? Somebody said, what about Josh Holloway? Yeah, that would be good too as well. Perfect person would be 2000 Brendan Fraser. You know, I thought about him. Yeah. He's let himself go, but Brendan Fraser back in the 2000s would be great. He absolutely would. Back when he did The Mummy, yes, that's exactly who we need. I agree. I always liked him. I liked Brendan. Well, y'all have an awesome rest of the day, an awesome weekend. And if the good Lord gives you tomorrow, have a very blessed day. Thank y'all so much for joining. Thank y'all for the super chats that y'all gave. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Bye, guys.